In a quiet town nestled between rolling hills, Eldridge Manor stood abandoned. It was an imposing structure, with ivy-covered walls and a broken gate that creaked ominously in the wind. The manor had a reputation for being haunted, and stories of ghostly apparitions and eerie sounds circulated among the townsfolk. But no one dared to enter, till one fateful evening when a curious young journalist named Sarah decided to investigate. Sarah had always been fascinated by the paranormal. She had read countless books and watched numerous documentaries on ghosts and haunted places. The allure of Eldridge Manor was irresistible. Armed with a flashlight, a camera, and a recorder, she ventured into the decaying mansion, determined to uncover the truth behind its eerie reputation. As Sarah pushed open the heavy front door, a chill ran down her spine. The air inside was stale, and the scent of mildew and rot filled her nostrils. She turned on her flashlight, beam cutting through the darkness. The grand foyer was dusty, cobwebs hanging from the corners of the high ceiling. An old chandelier swayed gently, despite the lack of any discernible breeze. She began her exploration on the ground floor, capturing photographs and recording sounds. Creaking floorboards beneath her feet seemed to groan with every step she took. As she moved through the manor, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Every so often, she would catch a glimpse of something moving in her peripheral vision. But when she turned to look, there was nothing there. Venturing into the dining room, Sarah noticed a long mahogany table covered in a thick layer of dust. The once grand room was now a shadow of its former self, with torn drapes and broken china scattered across the floor. She set up her camera to record the room and sat down at the table, hoping to capture any paranormal activity. Suddenly, the temperature in the room dropped drastically. Sarah's breath became visible as she exhaled, and the air grew icy. The flashlight flickered and then went out, plunging her into darkness. Panic set in, but Sarah managed to relight the flashlight. The beam revealed something that made her blood run cold, an old photograph lying face down on the table. With trembling hands, Sarah picked up the photograph and turned it over. It was a black and white image of a family, a man, a woman, and a child, all smiling warmly. But their eyes, cold and lifeless, seemed to follow her every movement. Sarah felt a cold sweat on her brow. She placed the photograph back on the table and decided to investigate the upstairs rooms. As she climbed the creaky staircase, she heard faint whispers coming from the walls. The whispers grew louder with each step, forming incoherent words that sent shivers down her spine. The hallway on the second floor was lined with closed doors. Sarah opened the first door she came across, revealing a small bedroom. The room was filled with old, dusty furniture and an old rocking chair in the corner. Sarah approached the rocking chair, which began to move back and forth on its own. She felt a sudden, overwhelming sense of dread. The whispers grew more distinct, and she could now make out words. "Leave now, they are coming." The sound of heavy footsteps echoed through the hallway, and Sarah's heart raced. Determined not to be frightened away, Sarah continued her investigation. She entered the master bedroom, which was even more decrepit than the others. The walls were adorned with peeling wallpaper, and the bed was covered in moth-eaten linens. In the center of the room, an old dusty mirror hung on the wall. As Sarah approached the mirror, she noticed a shadowy figure standing behind her. She spun around. The room was empty. Her flashlight flickered again, and the shadowy figure appeared in the mirror, its face obscured by darkness. Panic overtook Sarah, and she stumbled backward, knocking over a lamp. The room was now illuminated by the dim light of the broken lamp, casting eerie shadows across the walls. The shadowy figure in the mirror began to move closer to the glass, and Sarah saw its face, a grotesque, hollow-eyed apparition that seemed to reach out for her. Terrified, she grabbed her camera and recorder and fled down the stairs. The whispers grew louder, almost deafening, as she rushed out of the manor. Outside, the night air was cold and still. Sarah took one last look at Eldridge Manor before driving away. The ghostly image of the shadowy figure remained etched in her mind. She knew she had encountered something truly terrifying, something that defied explanation. As she left the manor behind, she couldn't shake the feeling she had narrowly escaped a fate worse than death. The next day, Sarah reviewed her footage and recordings. The photographs showed nothing unusual, and the audio recordings were filled with static. It was as if the manor had erased any evidence of the horrors she had witnessed. Sarah was left with only her memories and a lingering sense of dread. Eldridge Manor remained a mystery, its secrets locked away in the shadows, waiting for the next brave soul to uncover them.